Welcome to this episode of Island by Film. My name is Wes. Today I'm going to be giving you my honest impressions of my new Ricoh GR III. The Ricoh GR III camera at its core was designed specifically for the street photographer, and this is the genre of photography I'm currently most excited about. So I thought I would get my hands on one of these cameras and test it out and see what my experience was like. Now, the images you'll see in this video are all shot in the city of Vancouver, as the title already showed you. This is my very first time out with the Ricoh GR III, and I wanted to share some of my first impressions. But let's first talk about some of the features on this camera that actually attracted me to purchasing it. First and foremost, it was the compact pocketable size. That alone is incredible. When you're traveling on the street, you want to be unassuming and you want to be a little bit stealthy. That compact pocketable size is absolutely incredible, and so I really enjoy that. Secondly was the 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor. So although this camera is incredibly small, it boasts some pretty incredible image quality, and to compare it to a camera that I have used in the past and absolutely loved and thought was incredible, the Fuji X100V, I would say the image quality is very similar between the two cameras, although the look is a bit different between the two cameras. As far as the end result, I would say the image quality is very close. In fact, I'm going to talk about the lens in a little bit. I think there's something superior about the lens. So the lens is a 28 millimeter lens. This is something that I'm going to definitely need to get used to. 28 millimeters is not my focal length. I've spent most of my time shooting 35 and 50, and it feels so wide. It feels like I have to get so close to the scene, and it's something definitely that I'm gonna have to practice on. I'm excited about the challenge. Speaking about that lens, this lens is incredibly sharp. I've actually been blown away at some of the images that have come out of this camera so far. I've gone out shooting probably 2-3 times, this time being the first. The sharpness on this camera is absolutely incredible. The next feature that really drew me and attracted me was a snap focus. Now, you can watch some other videos talking about what snap focus is, but essentially snap focus is almost like zone focusing on a compact camera, similar to what you would do on a rangefinder camera or any camera that has a interchangeable lens that has zone focusing marks on them. So you can actually do some pretty incredible zone focusing, which means your response time is near immediate, as long as you're shooting within a certain focal range. So so far I've been selecting about 1.5 meter focal range, and if I'm shooting about f8 to f11, it's incredible. I mean, I pretty much have everything from about 3 feet to infinity in focus, and that makes it super easy to capture just instantaneous street photographs. So that feature I really love as well too. The other feature that I find is a feature that I'm not sure why more camera manufacturers don't put it in there, but it is an internal storage of 2 gigabytes. So shoots about, what I've been told, about 30 raw images or 40 or 50 JPEG images. So, I mean, this is a fantastic thing, because if you're heading out, you happen to forget an SD card, or maybe you want to limit yourself and shoot more like a film camera. It's almost like having a roll of film always in the camera. So that's absolutely fantastic as well. And then I would say the last thing that drew me, and this is not an advantage over, say, like a Fuji camera, but an advantage maybe over some other brands. Ricoh actually has a really nice JPEG image that gets output in the camera. And although in this video I've shot mostly RAWs, and these RAWs have been processed in Lightroom using actually the camera matching profiles with the Ricoh camera. The JPEGs themselves look fantastic as well, and I've been posting those on Instagram, and the results I think are fantastic, both in black and white and in color. So anyway, you're watching this video. I'm wandering around the streets of Vancouver, first time out with this camera, and I would say some of my first impressions are, number one, the battery life isn't great. Within about an hour of shooting, a camera on off on off. I was already getting down to very little battery on this camera, and I'm a bit concerned about that. I'm actually likely going to need to carry about 2 or 3 batteries with me if we're traveling, but that's probably my first concern. My second concern is, although this camera has IBIS, I'm finding that maybe it's just me, but some of my images actually are not coming out in focus. I expected actually a little bit better out of this camera with the IBIS built in, so the in-body image stabilization. But as a result, it seems to be a little lacking in this area. So, but overall, this camera is a spectacular street shooting camera. It's so compact, and I look forward to showing you more images going forward in the future. Thanks again for watching this episode of Island by Film. And if you think about it, please consider subscribing, liking, or commenting on this video. Thanks again for watching.